Hey, how are you guys tonight? It is Saturday, and I'm just going to jump out here honestly for just a couple minutes because we're talking about the law of priorities today, and my priorities right now are a certain 13-year-old who is waiting for dinner to finish in the oven. So I just wanted to jump on here, share with you a couple things with regards to this particular law. This one's a biggie. So I'm doing this tonight because I really want you to take the opportunity tomorrow, being Sunday, and kind of let these words sink in. Hey Dean, how are you? And let these thoughts just kind of sink in, and if they resonate with you, great. I hope that it can be of some benefit and some value to you moving forward. When I posted about thinking outside of the box, right? Sometimes you need to reinvent the box. With this particular principle, it is about, sometimes we have to think outside of the box a little bit, but your role as a leader, regardless of whether it's work, your own business, it's a group, it's a team, wherever you're at, sometimes the status quo just isn't, right? We know that if we want different results, we have to be willing to do something different. Sometimes we make small changes, but the most important thing to remember here with this particular principle is that sometimes you need to make massive changes. Sometimes you just need to blow the box up. So I say, sometimes we're just tiptoeing around changes. We're afraid. We're just treading water. What I want you to think about in this particular example is, and I'm going to talk to you for just a moment about the Pareto principle. So if you're in business, when it comes to priorities, and every time I assess what's going on in my business, we're coming into the end of March. Over the past couple months in January, between December and January, I take a little bit of time. One of my mentors, John Maxwell, taught me this principle 10 years ago, and I look at last year's calendar. I kind of dissect what was going on, what was working, what wasn't working, where we saw peaks in our business, where we saw dips, because you do see dips. And we're going to talk about this over the next couple days. But a lot of times what happens is when we're in momentum, we talked about momentum yesterday, and then you take a dip in your business, right? Hey Dean, how are you? We are good here. A lot of times when you're in momentum, you never evaluate what's going on in your business. You just ride the wave. It's not until we take those declines, those dips, until the numbers start falling short, or we're not seeing the same numbers that we were seeing or the same trend as far as increase. That's when we start reevaluating things. Sometimes most people give up at this place. They hang their hat up. They say, I'm done. It's not working anymore. I quit. The reality is every business is cyclical, right? We have our ups, our downs, there's trends, and if you understand my particular business model in the network marketing space, you will see significant dips at times. It's understanding how to regain momentum, what changes need to take place, what priorities need to take place in order to continue to move your business forward. So that's where this Pareto principle applies. And this is really important for you to understand. So if you're in any decline right now in business, if you're trying to gain traction, if you're trying to gain momentum, the Pareto principle basically says that when you have a business, right, 80% of your results are going to be attributed to 20% of the people, or 20% of the activities. So if I'm looking at all of the business building or income producing activities that I need to do in my business, for example, if I have all of these things that I do on a daily basis, making phone calls, setting appointments, follow-ups, what I have to do is hone in and identify on the top 20% of things that are going to give me the greatest reward in my business. So let's just say, for example, you have 100 clients in your business. The Pareto principle basically means that the top 20 clients in your business are contributing to 80% of your volume, your sales volume. If you have 10 fabulous team members, the reality is the top 2 are probably producing 80% of the business in your organization. Those are the individuals you need to be spending your time with, guys. This is a really simple principle, but more often than not, this particular principle is missed because we're not focusing on the top 20%. The top 20% is generating you 80% of your business. That's exciting when you can narrow it down and realize that your time can be so much better spent just on that 20%, and it's so much more effective, it's so much more productive. Just because you're busy, just because you're active, does not mean you're being productive. I mean, I can be busy. Larry said to me one time, he's like, what are you doing like all day long? And when we first started the business together, and you can keep yourself busy all day long, but is your busy producing? That's the biggest question here. So when it comes to priorities, always keep these three R's. That's a tongue twister. What is required? Okay, what is my greatest return, and what is my greatest reward? So when I think of required, I have to look at everything in my business and go, what is required of me? What are the things in my business that nobody else can do? What are the things that I truly have to do in order to continue to move my business forward? What are the things that I have to do to continue to move my organization, my team forward? What are the things that nobody else can do that you're solely responsible for? Where is my greatest return? Okay, of time spent, of the things that I need to do. Right now, I'll just give you an example. There's a project and we were kind of under the gun, so I took ownership of this particular project. It's not my strength. I'm working on a marketing piece that I'm trying to put together, and I have spent ridiculous amount of hours looking for the appropriate images and the layout that I want for this particular campaign. It is not my strong suit. It's something I should have delegated, and it probably would have been done 2 days ago. But where is my greatest return is what are the things that I'm spending my time on that are going to give me the greatest return in my business? And this is usually within your strength. So what is your strength? I love training, I love speaking, I love coaching, I love inspiring, I love just moving the team forward, right? I love action. I love meeting clients. I love setting appointments. I love working with people. I love the look on somebody's face when they've reached a goal. I love hearing their voice. I'm a people person. Those are the things I love. That's what I'm good at. Sitting behind a computer trying to find an image is something I am not good at. And my time spent doing that is not giving me a return in my business right now. So when you're thinking about this, what's required of me that nobody else can do? Where am I going to see the greatest return? This needs to be within your strength zone. These are the things that you do well. If somebody else can do it as 80% as well as you can, you need to delegate it. You need to take it off your plate because you're not seeing return on this. And reward. Where is my area of greatest reward? These are the things that like really speak to my heart. These are the things that I love. Right? These are the things that I'm spending my time on. I mean, I love to spend time with my children. I love to spend time with my husband. I love to travel. I love to adventure. I love the water. I love the beach. I love to see my team members. I love to do events. I love to speak. I love the stage. It's crazy. I was the kid who used to call in sick. I would beg my mom to let me stay home sick in high school. She didn't know it, but I always had oral presentations. I don't know what happened. It was one of those moments where I just stepped out of the box. So I want you to think about the things that you're passionate about, the things that you love. The passion will keep you going. These are the things that are going to fill you up so that you can pour out onto other people. Okay, so it's what is required of me? Where is my greatest return in my business? And where is my greatest reward? When you are so full and you can pour out onto others and you can see others' lives like just flourishing and getting really excited, for me, that's my greatest return, my greatest reward. So I want you to think about your priorities, where you're spending time. I'm going to talk a little bit more about this tomorrow as we piggyback into the next section, but I wanted just to bring you a few tips for tonight. Have a great one. Happy Saturday.